Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Trahan Therapy Center, where we shape minds and change lives. This is, of course, your lovely host, Shanna Trahan. Just wanted to share a little information with you. I actually took a little time over the weekend to come up with several different pieces of information that will hopefully help you in making solid decisions in your life. So, as I learn new things or I figure out new things, I'm here to share it with you because I want to protect you and your family, and that part is very important. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we've got 5 great points about dating red flags. So I want to point out that there is a book called 25 Red Flags, and the book doesn't help, my video doesn't help unless you're willing to really just follow those red flags. If ever you feel like you have an unction of something's not right or something's weird, I'm just going to say follow that unction and then just terminate whatever was about to take place. Okay. All right, just trying to help you out. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. So if you're communicating with a person, someone new to you, someone old to you, maybe you haven't talked to in a while, and they're rarely sharing about themselves or come across as a little secretive, then you will be careful about that, because if you're telling them about where you live or what you do or your life or things about yourself, and they're not really saying a whole bunch about themselves, or they're kind of glossing over things and not being clear or specific, I would say be mindful, be careful about that kind of thing. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in today, I would say that there's 2 kinds of people. The kind of people that are kind, thoughtful, helpful, giving, and then there are the kind of people who really don't make great decisions. And so you can look around the world. You can look in your family, you can look in your neighborhood, you can look at your job, and you recognize that people who are caring, thoughtful, giving, helpful, and then you recognize the people who are only for themselves. So it's very important that you align yourself with like minds, I would say. Okay. All right. So point 2: a person gets upset easily or angry and highly emotional. So let's just say you guys are having a conversation, something really basic. Maybe you disagree with them, and then they get escalated, and you're like, wait, but I only said no, I don't want to go, or I only said that I did not agree with you. And if someone's getting upset because you don't agree, that is like really upset, like going from this tone to what are you talking about? Then that's a clear indication that there's a problem. Or if you see them getting really emotional about something, like you guys aren't even deeply tied in emotionally yet, but they're getting very emotional about something, these are signs to head for the door and to run for the hills. Okay, so the first one was a person rarely shares about him or herself, seems very secretive, or a person gets upset easily or angry or highly emotional. Number 3, a person blames everyone else for all of their woes. We all know one person like this in our lives. Well, it was because my mom did this, my husband did this, my daughter did that. And the person will never say, well, this is the part I have ownership in. When I let this happen, then this person did this or whatever, right? So a lot of times we have some ownership in situations that take place. But the question is, if there's a person who is in your space and all they do is blame the whole world, it's the white man, it's the yellow man, it's the tall man, it's the short man, it's my mama, it's my cousin. Everybody makes me feel so bad. Everybody does things against me. Run. That is unhealthy. It's uncool, long-term unsafe. If someone is saying these kinds of things to you, get them out of your space. Do not allow them in your space. If you are that person, I'm just going to ask you to reach out for some support today. Because yes, we all go through things in our lives. It's not the fact that we go through them, it's how we bounce back from them or how we process that information and move forward. So I like to always just reach out and touch someone in a positive way. So I hope that some of this information today is helping someone. And certainly you have a friend that needs this information because you've heard their stories, their horror stories about things going on in their lives. And you've heard steps 1 through 3. You've heard these 3 points that they've shared with you. Girl, he does this. Or just even a guy saying, hey, this person did this or that, or this is how they're acting. And then the person is still remaining in their lives. So again, let's go ahead and move to step 4. So dating red flags number 4. A person believes that everything must go their way. And so sometimes people are real cool about stuff like that in the beginning. You don't really have a lot of great big decisions to make about things going your way or their way. However, what I want to impress upon you is an urgency to maybe create some of those situations where decisions have to be made and just see how the person responds. If you say, well, no, maybe let's do this, or no, I would prefer this, see how they respond, because if you don't create those situations, they might be able to kind of hold off who they really are until a little later. But if you create a situation where a decision has to be made and where you don't agree, then you will ultimately begin to see who the person really is. Okay, so unfortunately, yes, things like that have to be done in order to assess a person out and their mental health and their psychosis or whatever the problem is going on in the underlying maybe personality disorder, what have you. So for the first 4 steps for dating red flags, number 1, a person rarely shares about him or herself, seems to be really secretive, and that person might also be the person that says, oh, I don't really say too much, I just like to listen. So be aware of that. Number 2, a person gets upset easily, or angry, or highly emotional when you're not even emotionally involved. Number 3, a person blames everyone and everything else for all their woes. Everybody's done them wrong. Number 4, a person believes that everything must go their way. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. It's got to go my way. You've got to agree with me. I know all. I know best of everything. And they're very inflexible. And the one you've been waiting for, number 5. So it says a person is always borrowing money or isn't financially responsible. So we all run into snafus and things like that. But when you're talking about somebody 35, 45, 55 years old, people should have, a few dollars on the side for emergencies and things like that. And I mean, when you have kids, you certainly have to be aware and make sure that if any emergency happens, that you're prepared for short-term quick emergencies. So these are the 5 red flags for dating. So if you feel like you're in a situation with a person like this, you might want to mosey your way on out of it. And if you feel like you are this person, I suggest right now that you become introspective, start recognizing what are the issues that have caused you to perform or behave this way, and most definitely reach out to a therapist near you, because I just want to see you in your best place, doing the greatest things that you can do, and really just being there for other people and showing and having a caring heart. So just exit out. These are like the 5 serious flags. And also, let me just go back to this number 1 about a person sharing about themselves. So if you are just meeting somebody, 9 times out of 10, you're not giving them your address, like you're meeting them out in public and things like that. So it's really important to make sure that you are make sure that you are just giving them information that is relevant and valid to just getting to know you. They don't have to know your address. I remember one time this guy was like, oh, you're sick, I can bring you some medicine, I can do this. And I mean, the idea of that was really nice. But I was like, I don't really know you, and no, you're not getting my address, and no, dude, that's not cool. So it was really, I was like, no. So we really have to set those boundaries and stick with them. Anyway, this has been 5 dating red flags from the Trahan Therapy Center. Hopefully these help you and your friends and family. Many blessings. Make it a great day. Bye for now.